Here's another one of the better items I scored out of this pick. This is an old Brown and Sharp case. And what's in it is a kind of neat Brown and Sharp model 609 depth gauge. So it looks like maybe originally it may have come with 2 extension rods, and there's only one in here. I'm gonna have to look and see if I can find another one laying around in some of the boxes that I came across, because there was a bunch of these here, you see. Matter of fact, I wonder if that, I don't know if that's it or not. But anyways, it looks like it's in really nice shape. It looks clean as a whistle. I don't know if this thing's ever been used. If it has, I don't think it's been. Well, there you go. It's got a QA department number engraved on the back, so seems to work perfectly fine. It's interesting to me, it's got these threaded holes. Don't know what they're for. So I've never seen one of these before. No idea what the value is on it. Classic eBay pricing mentality here we've got going here. Here's somebody who's got one, looks a little bit different. It looks like it's got quite a few more things in the case with it, and they're asking $100 or best offer. And here's one, oh, I see, that one is brand new, $415 or best offer. And then there's one down here. The case looks a little different the way the layout is, but looks like it's pretty much the same thing, and that's $100 your best offer. And no one's bought one in the past 6 months by the looks of it, or I don't even know how long sold auctions stay on eBay anymore. It used to stay on for a lot longer, and it was much better for price research. Now they want to, I guess, keep their servers uncluttered, so they get rid of the stuff a lot quicker. So it appears this is described as a 0 to 3 inch. So I think it's supposed to come with 3 tips. It's supposed to come with this really long one here, an intermediate one, which I think is what's on there. Yeah. And then I think a really short point, maybe. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I've got my Brown and Sharp catalog. I wonder if it's in there. Oh, okay. So these threaded holes are actually to allow you to relocate the indicator to one side or the other if you want to offset it. So that's why this one's all the way at the very end, but this one isn't. So it gives you basically 3 positions to mount that. It does say, according to the catalog I have here, that it's a 0 to 3 indicator. It's got 1 inch of travel, but then it says the 3 contact points are provided. 0 to 1, 1 to 2, and 2 to 3. Supplied in the fitted case. And then you can purchase different bars for different applications. And those are all the part numbers down here for those. Different rectangular bases. Alright, so I should see if I can find those other tips. I noticed these ones here, the knurling is different. You can actually see the type of knurling that's on here. It's a cross hatch, where both of these have just a straight knurl. This is the case that I found in the toolbox, which is clearly for sticking together, but I have a time getting this open. There we go. It's 4 indicator points. It was an indicator point set, and there was kind of a mess, so any of the indicator points that I found laying in the drawers I may or may not have thrown in here. So maybe I grabbed up the correct one for that set. It doesn't look like it. It looks like these are all, looks like these all have the same kind of knurling on them as those other generic ones, except for that one right there. But that's too short. In other words, when you take this off, that hole's kind of recessed up in there, so. And I'm not seeing it, so unfortunately I think it's missing. Here's a micrometer I found just loose in the box. It's a CHUAN brand, Chuan, I don't know, so clearly it's Chinese or Taiwan or something. So it's a cheap import, but what it's got going for it is got a ratchet thimble. It's a tenths micrometer, so it's good for .0001 resolution. It's got carbide faces that are in good shape. It's a 1 to 2 inch micrometer. You know, everything works. It's turned smoothly. Lock works. And it was even calibrated at one point by Metrology Services, Inc. This was actually calibrated in 2019. So the calibration only expired April of last year. So this was not used that long ago in industry. The top of the box with a bunch of other junk, I found this nice Starrett 449 depth micrometer. It has a blade in it instead of a rod. And then later on, in one of the lower drawers, I came across this Starrett case. And lo and behold, opened it up and realized, it is the correct case for this, and it has 2 more rods in it. So that would make this a 0 to 3 inch blade micrometer Starrett. And no, it's not missing rods necessarily. What they did was they used the same case for multiple sets. So they might have a 0 to 3 and then they might have a 0 to 6. So if you bought the 0 to 6 inch set, it would have 2 more rods here and a 3rd rod here. The case is kind of old and a little worn, but still a nice set. Found this laying in the drawers. Just took it because I didn't know what it was for. I could see that it had what appeared to be a depth micrometer replacement rod in here. But then I noticed just now that this actually says depth and angle gauge right there on that sticker. And you know, remember this from earlier? So I think this is the case for this. That's if we can't look up this part number, 591156. That sounds very MSC-ish, doesn't it? Well, I'm glad I looked this up. These numbers didn't do any good. But then I just looked up depth and angle gauge, Googled it, and of course, several come up. There's a General Tools version. There's our Kaufhof, which doesn't sound very made in the USA to me. Of course, the Starrett one is in black. But right at the top here, there's a listing from the Penn Tool Company for one made by our old friends at the Peck Tools. Which I don't know if you guys remember, but a while back I ended up buying from an estate, and I had several nice Peck tools. Precision Engineering Company, I think is what that stands for. But look at what's in the picture. It's the mystery rod. That's actually an accessory for this thing. Peck Tools depth gauge and angle gauge with 12-inch rule and 6-inch rod. That's $30 for this little sucker. Don't mind that. So, I gotta check this out. How did the fine folks at Peck Tools make this in a way so that you could take this blade out and stick this in there and expect it to actually stay? Oh, I see there's a groove in the center there. Oh, here we go. I just figured it out. Look at that. Like the monkey who just figured out how to reach the banana. You turn this 90 degrees and there's a hole. There's a hole in the bucket, I tell you, dear Liza. And you just take this like this. And boom, Bob's your uncle. Oh, I might have to keep this one for myself. A snazzy little doohickey that it has there and everything. We'll see. I think I have several of these already. Also found in the drawers this Brown & Sharp number 694 U.S. standard gauge for sheet plate and iron and steel. That's kind of neat. Then in a drawer I found this. This is a Mitutoyo digital drop indicator, but it does not turn on, and so I didn't value it very high when I saw it because of the fact that I've just been burned before with digital stuff. Matter of fact, right now in my possession, I have not one, but two Brown & Sharpe Micromaster digital micrometers that look brand new, and neither one of them work. And it's upsetting because I know I valued those probably at, well, more than I should have, obviously. 0.39 volts. Well, the good news is that battery is dead as a doornail. Well, here is a used battery I got here that's measuring 1.5 volts, so seems okay. This is an LR44, but I think the LR44 is a direct replacement for the 357. I like to think so anyways. Oh, look at that. It's already screaming the life. Oh, look at that idiot. There's an O-ring on here. It just popped out of its groove. Make my life difficult. Oh, come on now. There we go. There we go. Oh, that ain't doing anything either. All right, hold on. Now it's working. If I had an instruction manual, I could probably do this correctly. All right. Well, things are looking up a little. All right, next up we have a nice little Machinist square. Well, I mean, it's little. Has absolutely no markings on it other than engravings on it, so it's probably just a little cheap import. Here's a Cushman chuck mounted on a straight shank. Still has a reamer, very small reamer mounted in it. I'll have to try and find a key for it. This is the only chuck key I found in the toolbox, and it doesn't fit this chuck, and there aren't any other chucks or drills that were present, so. Here's another edge finder. This one is apparently completely unmarked, so we'll probably just go with generic on that one. And this is a Brown & Sharpe best test indicator. It's a 0.5 indicator, and it's not completely broken, but it's got this big old tag on it with NFG. And I think we can all guess what that stands for. That's a very ungentlemanlike way to say that this is not something you want to use. It looks like it was Metrology Services took a whack at this thing. They calibrated it back in 2018, and then at some point something happened to it. I have to believe this wouldn't take much to fix this, because it's got signs of life. It just hangs a little bit on return, and I don't know if it's a crack or a scratch in the crystal there, but probably just gonna sell that as is to somebody. You know, the dovetails are in great shape, actually. Well, maybe not great. Pretty good shape though. It's not as, I've seen ones more beat to heck than this one that worked perfectly, so. But this one is NFG. Next up, V-blocks. Well, only 2 V-blocks in the whole toolbox. So we get a little bit of a mystery here. This one is a, pretty sure this is a Starrett. This one's marked 1/4 which is the size of the threaded holes. Yeah, this is a Starrett 278. It's a lone 278 block. And this is a Brown & Sharpe 750-2. They're both in good shape. But then found 3 clamps. This one, yeah, that's the right clamp for that one. So I think we're good to go there. Yeah, so then the mystery is, why are there 2 small clamps that look like they might be, yeah, they look like they might be identical. You know, and that is a good fit for that, for this Starrett. So I'm wondering whether or not he originally had a pair of these and one went missing. This one's missing the rod that goes in here, but oh well. All right, next up we got stamps and clamps. So we got one parallel clamp, out of the whole lot. But it's a nice Starrett. It's a 161C. Got some crap stuck to it. That just came right off. Okay. That's a nice clamp there. Can't twist clamps. Alright. These are in great shape. A couple bigger ones, or fairly large ones, and then a couple of these little itty bitty ones also. So 4 can't twist clamps. Nice. There was also 2, early on I pulled out 2 clamps. There they are. I've also found these 2 clamps in the box there. They just say 2-inch clamp on them. No maker's name or anything. But I grabbed them because they were a matched pair, and they were kind of, I don't know, they just caught my eye. Like I wondered if they belonged to something particular, but whatever. So the stamp sets, we got a nice combination set here. This looks like it's letters and numbers. It just says stamping set. This says Pittsburgh, so I wonder if this is just a Harbor Freight deal. These still have oil on them. These look brand new. And then in this box, which looks considerably older, we've got, looks like just a number set. Huh, somebody ground the side of that by the looks of it. The reason why I think that somebody did that after the fact is because it obscured the name. And they're all done that way. So somebody was using this in a holder, and they ground this flat to make sure that it stayed in the holder correctly. Either that or just so they could pick it up and easily tell which side was what. I bet you they ground that flat on the same side on each one. But these are M-A-R-K something. Alright, so these are made by Mark Wright, R-I-T-E, and a set identical to these, used like this, sold on eBay for 25 bucks. Whereas these Pittsburgh steel ones, Pittsburgh tool ones I should say, from Harbor Freight, you can buy right now, brand new from Harbor Freight for 15 bucks. So there's something to be said for good old steel. Not to mention, this is a full number and letter set. This is only numbers. Alright, moving along, we've got a Mitutoyo micrometer. It's a 222-125. And what this is a spade micrometer. And it's one of these counting ones, which is kind of cool. These mechanical digitals. And I thought, oh, I can sell this one because I already have one. But then I just went and checked, and turns out I have the 0 to 1 inch version, and this is the 1 to 2. Well, actually, no, this is a 0 to 1 inch version. Oh, that's interesting. See, I thought maybe this was different because I have a 122-125, which apparently is the part number for the same micrometer in just a regular micrometer, not a digital. In other words, here's my, oh, okay, it's a 126-137. It's not even close. What am I smoking? Oh, because I grabbed the wrong box. That's my thread mic, dummy. Here we go. 122-125. Yep, that's what it is. It's basically the same micrometer, only with a standard type of thimble. Wonder which one I should keep. And unlike my Starrett 216 that I've been having trouble with, this one is working correctly. That's a 110 thousandths gauge block, and that's what I'm getting.